We find our heroes in a cell with a window overlooking the lunar landscape.
Great. Not only did I miss one of the biggest events in anime, but now I'm stuck in a prison cell on the moon.
I kinda like it. Me too.
Ugh. Figures. You two, the weirdos.
He peers out the window to see the Earth.
I will sort of admit, it's a nice view. Given the circumstances.
Seeing as there's no way to escape, they might as well.
And brought back to reality.
The drop points!
What about them?
I think I figured it out. He points to the Earth. They're not forming around the North Pole, but closer to the Bering Sea, near the American-Canadian border.
And?
Well, none of those drop points are anywhere near the North Pole. They're cutting through the Canadian wilderness. Then, how do you explain the attacks on Santa Claus? A diversion? Look, how many of those APCs did we count in that hangar?
Like, 6?
And from the terminal, there were 6 drop points.
Oh, and the North Pole was attacked by 3.
So where did the other 3 go? Well, that's the question. But I think I have a theory. As they talk, the door opens and 2 soldiers step in and wave them. They proceed down the corridor and pass a launch site. The bay doors open and a dropship emerges.
Now!
He slugs one of the guards as JJ kicks another. Luca retrieves the fob and it removes the cuffs. One of the soldiers, angry, gets up and opens fire and hits the window. The 3 take off running as everything is sucked into space and manage to make it to an access corridor as the blast doors close and the alarm rings.
Well, that went great.
Now what? Lee looks around.
We gotta get back to Earth.
How? This place is gonna crawl with guards. Well, if not already. Lee walks over to the terminal map.
That corridor we just escaped from, it's now cut off from the cells. If those guards are gonna pursue us, they have to cross that corridor, which is now inaccessible.
Well, we still need to get back to Earth.
Yes, I get that point. Let me think.
They hear gunfire in the distance. Do you mind thinking a little bit faster? You'd think they'd be a bit more careful, seeing where we are. They scurry down the corridor and find a locker with hazmat suits. They don the suits and casually make their way to the launch site where they see soldiers running around. They make it to the catwalk and open a small hatch and enter. Lee looks around and JJ points up to a ladder curving upward. Ah, shit. I hate heights.
Look on the bright side. The gravity here is 1/3 of what it is on Earth.
As Luca pulls a face, they proceed to climb the ladder and access another hatch where they find a capsule filled with tools, weapons, and spare parts. They proceed to dump the material and they feel a shudder. They strap themselves in as the ship launches. As the dropship lifts from the moon's surface, inside the capsule the 3 are thrown to the back. Oh, God! It's like an elephant sitting on top of me! Try smoking for 7 years, you get the same effect.
Dude, you really need to stop.
Presently, they feel the pressure lighten up and the controls light up. Lee looks at them.
Alright. How do I pilot this thing?
You can't. It's on autopilot. We're landing at a pre-selected location.
Alright.
So, you had a theory about the drop points? Lee grabs an oxygen mask connected to a tank. They all look at one another.
One of us is gonna have to go last.
Rock, paper, scissors?
What are you? 12?
In here? Yes.
Ugh. Alright, Luca. Seeing as you light one every 3 seconds, have the first puff.
Sweet!
I'm only doing this because you have some important info pertinent to our situation.
Luca grabs the mask and inhales and hands it to JJ. The dropships are hitting pre-programmed coordinates off the American-Canadian coasts. Now, since the North Pole isn't entirely in their scope, this leads me to think they're probably planning a military operation in that area. Like an invasion? Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. Another thing is that one of the drop points is off the coast of Alaska.
Right. Russia's going to invade the US from Alaska?
When he sees Luca's expression, his own changes.
Shit. You really mean it.
I remember an interview the Russian president did with the BBC 2 years ago. He says something to the Russian Empire. He begins to cough. Well, he hands him the mask. Has been denuded. He rambled on about how the Baltic states and Ukraine have been shorn from the Russian motherland.
They've been saying that about Poland for years.
But he said something that Russia had a hold of North America and sold it for a pittance.
And Russia owned Alaska.
So it stands to reason this could be a spearhead movement to try to reclaim it. Worked in Crimea.
Yeah, but they didn't drop giant APCs from the moon.
And the dropships are equipped with a jammer. While scanners and radar will just get white noise. And we're moving slow.
To mimic a meteorite approaching Earth.
So then any military radar would just dismiss it for some space junk. Well, wait. How did Russia get away with building these things on the moon anyway? That is a good question.
How long is it until we reach Earth?
I think 36 to 72 hours? Well, he looks at the oxygen mask.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got a throbbing headache, and I'm thinking we need to... you know.
If it's what I think you're suggesting, I'm all for it.
As I settle in, Lee looks at the others.
Before we all, let's make it clear this isn't cuddling. We're in a tiny capsule, and there's not much space to move around. So if we happen to touch each other in a weird way, promise not to say a word?
The others moan in response. At best, they were designed to hold one cosmonaut or 3 dogs.
I'm not even gonna ask. What?
As Lee blacks out, he sees Luca punch something in the computer before lying down. Meanwhile, Krampus and Black Peter are talking to an officer. How long ago did the alarm go off? An hour ago. Earth time. We were unable to capture them due to unfortunate circumstances. And what do you require of us? The next drop point is due in 36 hours projected at these coordinates. We assume they have stowed away on this dropship and require your presence to greet them. I see. And interrogate them. That will not be necessary. You will hold them. Preferably intact until I can reach your location and escort them to our facility. And if they should resist, you will use non-lethal methods to apprehend them. They can be quite, how you say, feisty. But I doubt they will put much of a fight. Colonel. Yes. Just a quick question. The next drop is kilometers away from our forces are supposed to be for the next counteroffensive. That would take us hours to get back. Kolonev grabs Peter. Do not presume to lecture me on military matters, Pisanta. Remember our arrangement. You were going to help us take the North Pole from Santa. Yes, but these are secondary compared to the main task. You mean your affairs? Kolonev throws him to the ground. When we came to this arrangement, we would provide APCs in military personnel and equipment in exchange for your service. The way I see it, we have made less demands of you than the other way around. More APCs, more firepower. I hear you beg day after day. Black Peter slowly gets to his feet. He's putting up more resistance than expected, Colonel. And our APCs will soften that resistance. My god. How hard can it be to crush elves and snowmen? Black Peter and Krampus exchange looks. Now, you will be at the drop points in 36 hours. Yes. We will. And you will hold them. Krampus grits his teeth. Yes. Good. As he walks away, Black Peter rubs his neck. I don't know how you can tolerate that man. He's just a means to an end. That's all. Krampus stops him. But you've never wondered what they want out of this arrangement. No. I only know what I want. Krampus stares at him. And you've never wondered. Not for a second. Surely you cannot believe he is doing this out of the kindness of his heart. Careful, old friend. I hold you in the highest esteem, but I will not hesitate to turn you in if it hinders the larger task at hand. Krampus scowls. Just be at the drop point when those idiots show up and do as Kolonev says. The sooner we can get this business sorted out, the sooner we will assume control of the North Pole. Very well. I will be there. Back in the present, the Bushwackers are in the capsule.
Shit. I'm out.
Luca fires the last round. Yep, me too. JJ steps out and fires an RPG at a few of the stags and then hurries back in as they open fire.
So, that's all three of us. Now what?
Well, we shut the door, but they see that the door is broken off.
The Russian Space Agency.
As Lee moves, the capsule rolls. Hey, do you mind stopping that?
Shut up! Shut up! I just got an idea.
Yeah?
It will require everyone. Strap in.
Not again. Krampus walks over to the capsule and raises his arm to signal a ceasefire. Bushwackers, I will have words with you.
What is he? Thor?
No doubt you know that I am working with the Russian military to gain control of the North Pole.
Yeah? What's new?
Kolonev wants me to bring you three to him for interrogation. No doubt you've already seen what he has planned and what he will do to keep it confidential. There is no response from the capsule. If you will surrender, I will ensure safe passage and that no harm comes to you. Lee pokes his head out. You have my word.
We'll pass.
Do you know what he'll do to you once he's completed his interrogation?
Yeah, dude. And we're still not taking your offer. Anyone who decides to be under the Russian thumb isn't worth taking into consideration.
Yeah, considering you have as little influence over the Russians as your friend Peter. Where is he, by the way? Does he really leave lumps of coal for naughty children? Or has he upgraded to shit? Krampus waves his arm, and the stags raise their guns. Just remember, I gave you a chance.
Well, it was pretty shitty. No offense.
He turns to the others.
Alright. In 3, 2, 1.
As the stags open fire, they hear a creak and then a roar. They see the capsule barrel towards them. Some get out of the way while others are knocked over. Krampus runs after it and grabs the rim, but is flung off. He watches as the capsule wobbles as it descends down the slope. He waves at his soldiers. After them! Now! The stags dash downhill in hot pursuit. Gigi hurls a few objects out of the castle, tripping the pursuers as the capsule slows down. Lee rams against the controls, but it doesn't do anything.
Shit! Come on! You've got a few more yards to go!
They hear the gunfire get closer. They get out, and as they do so, the capsule rolls a few more yards away. Seriously?
I know, right?
They continue running when they see a convoy approach. They take cover behind a boulder to see it is Russian. As they watch, they hear clicks around them and look to see Krampus with his men.
Hey! You found us! You win a prize! Luca, tell the audience at home what he's won.
Well, Krampy here wins an all-expense-paid trip to Florida where he will get to swim with the dolphins at SeaWorld, hang out with Mickey Mouse at Disney World, and enjoy a day with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he will be driving the latest Tesla! In response, a soldier hits him with his gun. Lee helps him up. Oh, not a Tesla fan, huh? So, Jake, I don't think he likes Elon Musk. They see Kolonev walk over with his Russian soldiers.
I'm thinking he's not a Bucks fan either.
So, these are the unfortunate wretches Santa has hired. Well, gentlemen, I must congratulate you for your ingenuity. But this is a fight you cannot possibly win. Well, reuniting the Empire does require a smokescreen, I imagine. Kolonev's lips curl. Krampus, have these men placed in the truck and ensure they are placed in maximum security. I think these men are not the idiots as we've been led to believe. As they're handcuffed, Luca looks over at Krampus. Tell me something. Did you really think they were interested in your little squabble? Krampus glares at him. Take it from me. There's nothing more pathetic than a pawn who thinks he's the king. He glances at Kolonev. And a king knows the best way to win a war is to let the pawn think he's in charge. As they are led away, Krampus looks after him. A stag soldier walks over. What a silly metaphor. Krampus turns to him. No, not at all. That man must be a sorcerer to know my very thoughts.